What's up, everyone? This is episode 3 of Power Rangers Ninja Steel, my review. Episode 3, Live and Learn. It opens up with the Rangers in their new so-called secret base that is inside the paint room of their high school, believe it or not. I stated that in my last review of the last episode. In this episode, we finally get to see the formation of their Megazord. Obviously, once again, Saban made changes. Maybe for the better, I don't know, but once again, he has given the Rangers a Mega Mode or a Powered Up Mode when they're in the cockpit of the Megazord. They get more armor pieces, a cool new sword. Again, I just don't know why why Saban seems to think that's necessary. Maybe he thinks it adds a new extra dynamic to the whole show, giving you something new to look at, and not just the regular Rangers all the time. I mean, because obviously, when the Rangers are fighting, they're just wearing their normal Ranger suits. But when they're in the cockpits, they have their powered up armor, and but they don't do any fighting in that armor. What's the point? What's the use of it? So it makes me think that they should have made the armor for them when they fight, and then when they're in the cockpit, they have less, not more. It really doesn't make much sense to me. But to each his own, or her own. They are basically just going on the fact that they're all in high school together. This was Brody the Red Ranger's first day at high school, hence the title Live and Learn. He's trying to learn how to live with his new friends and learn to get along in a human high school, because he was obviously on that spaceship for 10 years and he never experienced public school. So, he goes to class and has the teacher starts a test, and he starts using his Datacom, his space-age watch, to get all the answers that the teacher is asking. Obviously, they find out, they bust him out, the other jock busts him out on the fact that he's using his wrist, Datacom, whatever you want to call it, to cheat, to ask it the questions, and it gives him the answers. And of course, the teacher didn't like that. She says, "Oh, I don't want to see that again." And the jock there's some convoluted story where the jock of the school wants to be more popular than the Power Rangers because his YouTube video only has like a couple of views, and the Power Rangers, their video is on YouTube and they've got over 1 million views. So he ends up basically stealing the Red Ranger's Datacom, and asks the Datacom, "How do I be more popular than the Power Rangers?" It says defeat a monster in battle. Are you kidding me? Is that the prerequisite to be a Power Ranger or be as popular as the Power Rangers? Just defeat a monster in battle? Easier said than done. They are making so many mistakes in this series so far. It's astonishing. I thought Dino Charge was wrong. I'm not going to use the word bad because I enjoyed Dino Charge for the most part, but this is legitimately bad. So far they have done nothing to give me that same energetic feeling that the Japanese rendition of the show gives you when watching it. It doesn't exhilarate you because they're rushing through the story, through the episode so quickly that it's a bunch of blah 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 in the beginning, and then the monster goes blah blah blah, and then they transform, and then the Megazord forms, and then they beat them, and then that's it. It's the same formula every time. In the Japanese series, each episode had its own specific story and characters for that story. They fully flushed the story out. Sometimes it would take 2 or 3 episodes. It would be like to be continued. We hardly ever do that here in America. We do like maybe 1 or 2 to be continues in the entire thing, and it's like at the end of the first season and then at the end of the second season. Even though there shouldn't be a first and second season, it should just be one series shown from beginning to end. Every week a new episode. But I've talked about all that before. But once again, episode 3 of Power Rangers Ninja Steel, Live and Learn, rushed. we finally get to see the Megazord, and of course they changed the inside of the Megazord cockpit again. Saban started doing this with Samurai. I have no idea why. I have no real problem with the Mega Mode armor, like the beefed up suits when they're in the cockpit, but at least keep the cockpit the same. You're really pissing off fans this way, Saban. I don't know what the hell you're thinking. If you're trying to make the show your own, it ain't gonna happen. It'll never be yours. It belongs to the fans. It belongs to Toei Company in Japan. So you can do whatever you want with the show. I'm gonna keep watching. Again, I'm not doing these reviews to hate on Power Rangers in any way. I just simply want to give my honest opinions on the comparisons between our American version and the original Japanese footage. Again, they formed the Megazord, got their Mega Mode power, used some new... The Red Ranger had some new chainsaw-looking sword for the cockpit. They finish off the monster, and then that's it. The end of the episode, the Red Ranger decides that, oh, well, I didn't need the Datacom to get all the answers to begin with. All I need is my team. Gag me. So, he decides to make all of the Rangers one of the Datacoms. Basically, going back, like a throwback to the whole wrist communicators from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Of course, those were much more aesthetically pleasing. These just look like hunks of metal on their wrist. It's just... I think it's dumb. Again, yeah, the ending was rushed, and it was cheesy, and we'll just wait and see what happens with the 4th episode. Hopefully, really, really hopefully, here soon, he starts fully fleshing some of these stories out a little bit better, and not rushing the episodes too quickly. It's almost like the ratio from talk to action. It keeps... In Japan, the action's up here. It's always up here. The story is always up there too, but the action is always over the top in Japan. Here in America, it's story, 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 maybe a little bit of action, story, 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 maybe a little bit of action, and then the episode is over. We're lucky if we get to see one morph per episode. Sometimes in Japan, you get to see the Rangers morph 2, 3, maybe even 4, up to 4 times in a single episode because of all the different things that are happening in that episode. Again, that's my review of Power Rangers Ninja Steel, Episode 3, Live and Learn. Until next week, Rangers, ready, go!